Road.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes and reports received and filed.
Yes, we got the recorder's January 2026 fees and the treasurer's January 2026 reconciliation report.
Commissioner Committee liaison reports, upcoming meetings and events.
An HBA board meeting today, planning commission meeting tonight, HBA general membership meeting tomorrow night, and Public Works will be out there with the committee for the half-cent sales tax, doing a discussion on it. And I think I sent you all the invite, if you can make it and come out there and help me heckle Eric a little bit. Or he actually makes jokes about us because he's got the microphone, so you gotta be careful how much you heckle him. Thursday we got a JC Rep board and investors meeting. At Renegade's Coffee on Friday. Monday's Lincoln Day celebration. I think that's it.
Okay, tomorrow, Salute 26 meeting. Hearings at the Capitol in the morning on a couple of bills that directly affect the sales tax base and how it affects counties. Thursday morning is the City Public Works. I believe, did I see it? Is that right? No. It's canceled. Canceled. Okay. Tuesday's Thursday evening. That's what I have.
I have Cap Region Foundation today at noon. Homeless Task Force tomorrow at 11. So I was going to just hang out down there at the city, but Friday the Gold Star families meet at 9, and then Saturday the Sons of the American Revolution. Monday is a holiday, but yeah, we've got HCJ has an event that night, and then it's also Lincoln Days. Okay. We will move right into presentation from staff, consultants, and invited guests. Nab Holtz, construction manager on the juvenile facility.
Printed copies.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, thank you.
All right, so little quick update on January 20th, we had the bid day for all subcontractors for the new juvenile center. Had 122 bids come in for the different packages. So from there, we spend the next 2 weeks. You can imagine 122 different companies all want to propose a different scope or read the documents a little different. So we spent the last time reaching out to them and have compiled that into what is called a GMP Amendment 1, which is our guaranteed maximum price. And that's what got before you here. So everything kind of came in right pretty close to the last estimate we had, just under the 14 million. So there's essentially 3 exhibits: the cost breakdown, list of drawings that worked with Architects Alliance for what all is included, excluded, and then the schedule. So the schedule we worked through with all the bidders was a 13-month on site. Allows us some time on the front end for some procurement, getting steel and some of the detention equipment here, and then be finished March of 2027. I had a second sheet attached, so this would be our list of subs that we'd recommend for each package that we have included in the pricing.
I met with Architects Alliance and Nab Holtz last week to go over this. No major surprises or disappointments. We still have a couple of things that are out there with respect to the generator. The generator is something that the county will furnish. And there was some discussion whether it's going to be powered by natural gas versus diesel. And we do not have natural gas on site. That makes that option probably not reasonable. And it would, so the generator, which we don't have yet, would be a bit similar to what the sheriff has in terms of for the jail. That fires up on its own every, as we said, we tell it to fire up and see if it's working,
Test.
and then whether or not the diesel or the fuel has gelled, literally gelled. So that's still hanging out there. Maybe were we still looking at potential savings on some water because of whether we may already have enough pressure?
Yeah, so there's a few options still that even approving this, we're construction manager tracking cost transparently, so we'll keep finding savings options. One would be if we get the sprinkler contractor on board, which currently is slated to be Summit Mechanical, they would do the actual final design, calculate flow at the area. If we could save a fire pump, would be a decent savings option to kick in around 50 grand. So those type of items aren't necessarily for final approval today. It would mostly be to set the GMP, and then we'd continue working with everybody for materials being purchased, options that we could still vet out, and then actually put in place. And then a few of the other ones on the bottom, page 2, that were, we looked at owner furnished contractor installed items. So we've got most of those listed there with options if we would want to have us do those turnkey, but for now I feel like we have a pretty good plan to let us help manage it, but handle the purchase through the county.
I sat in on the bids the day that, it was quite a bunch. You felt good that day?
Yep.
You feel good yet today?
Yeah, it was, a lot of times we have higher spread between low bid to high bid, or when we're calling, people have a lot of different scopes. In this case, most of the bids came in within 5-10% of each other, and when we're calling asking scopes, it felt like a very clean job, clean design documents that people were all interpreting the same. So that helps people sharpen their pencil and turn in good numbers, and I feel like that's what we got as a result of it.
So are we just signing that today then? Is that what we're getting on this?
That's the plan.
But even though we're taking on more responsibility, we're still below 14 vacancies. I'm happy.
Good.
I'm still not happy. So, yeah, I'm still not happy with the price tag, but I think really the construction managers, Snapples, y'all have done a good job. Architects Alliance, y'all have done a good job, and appreciate your patience with me. I don't know what you've said behind my back, but anyways, I do appreciate you being nice, answering my questions, and entertaining me at times, so y'all did a good job. So. We don't have FF&E in here either yet, so, right?
That's right. We have to do some furnishing, yes. And then I'm sure we'll work with Toby on the FF&E furniture fixtures. It's amazing how much this furniture in that detention area costs, because you just don't go to IKEA and order a chair. These things are like tanks. They're so heavy they can't be thrown. Right.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah, they can't be weaponized.
Can't weaponize. Okay. I'll make a motion to sign the guaranteed maximum price schedule and documents as submitted by Nabholz.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Is that all you need from me?
Yeah, do you want me to, since I wrote on mine?
Thank you.
You just need one copy.
Yeah, I'll just take one, or I can sign one here. If you guys want.
Okay, so sign that one too, and we'll keep
And
one.
I say you don't have to make one copy, just sign a couple of them if you want. Did you email that to us?
I had
Did we
to,
get it?
well,
Okay, yeah, if you would, so we have a copy, please. Just got the schedule and things on it.
Yeah, I was gonna go on to the next agenda. Well, I signed that, since we have
Just
this.
spend 14 million, you don't have to be in a hurry.
Well, I have the city, we have commission comments, resolutions supporting the City of Jefferson build grant application.
Thank you.
Brought your
Also,
security with you too.
that's
I'm gonna tell you,
right.
don't mess with them. My son was about 0 degrees out there running the bike down too.
Rain or shine.
It might have been a little. The jacket you have, I need one of those for here.
It's part of the moving part that helps you.
Yeah, I'm sure that doesn't hurt.
Thank you for having us. We are here seeking a resolution of support from Cole County in an effort to apply for a build grant, which is better utilizing investments, leveraging development. Our goal is, you want to go ahead and push the slide forward?
Yeah, I was trying to make it bigger, but I can't.
Do you want me to help you?
Do the slideshow.
Click that. No, this right here. Mine. Let's see.
It's right now. No.
Okay.
On the screen. There we go.
So it's better utilizing investments to leverage development. And what we're going for is we're going for a whole connector. So we bundled the High Street Viaduct replacement bridge with a new riverfront connecting bridge from the MSP or the new River Market site over to Deborah Cooper Park. And those projects bundled play off of each other. Submitting the High Street Viaduct by itself would not be a strong enough application. But if you have the development potential of the Riverfront Connector Bridge, together they create kind of one integrated connectivity project in the downtown area. So just some renderings that we have. You have the River Market site. You can see the future bridge potential that comes off of by the cul-de-sac at the end of Lafayette Street and connects to Deborah Cooper Park. And what that does is it gives Jefferson City a riverfront. It makes development at MSP a little bit more palatable to private investors. And it also gives access to commuters that want to go from kind of the state office campuses up to the state capitol without actually having to hit the highway or the road. Thanks. And again, High Street Viaduct, which is technically kind of 2 bridges, so we're asking for 3 out of this one funding mechanism. And it's really an elevated roundabout with a large box culvert for Missouri Boulevard, and that will allow better access for pedestrians getting from the state parking lots over to the state office buildings. Next slide. The funding is up to $25 million. Normally it's an 80-20 split, but the location is a qualified census tract, so it's eligible for 100% federal funding. So that's what we are going to ask for. Currently the viaduct we have, and this does not include engineering, is about $16.9 million, and then the Riverfront Connector Bridge is about $7.5 million. And then we have about between $2 and $3 million of sales tax that could cover cost overruns. We will go ahead and, I don't think I have any more, is that it? We will, the application is due February 24th, and it says that we're going to find out around June if we are receiving the funds. I would anticipate closer to September because it's just been delayed lately. It's super competitive, but if we don't ask, we don't get. We would really appreciate the county's support. And I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I have Mr. Bangy here if you have any technical questions on the bridges.
What does the state say about it?
They're supportive, very supportive. We got a letter of support from Governor Kehoe's office on the way, and they're working directly with Senator Schmidt to try to get the DC connections going on it as well.
Yeah, the state is, we had asked the state if they could give us some property, since the footprint of the Lafayette or the High Street Viaduct is larger given the roundabout, et cetera. And so there's a bill that's made it through committee at the House, and I think Senator Bernsketter's carrying a similar bill through the Senate for those properties to be transferred to the city. So the state's seemingly on board with that.
Lose a little parking over this.
Right, perhaps as many as 40, perhaps as few as 32, just depending on exactly how we lay the parking lots back out again once we get finished with what we're doing.
So we're gonna make the roundabout wide enough for you got Fire Station 1, for the fire engines and buses and everything to
Right, it'll be
get around. Because some of these roundabouts, it's a bigger truck. They have a heck of a time.
Yeah, they'll be designed for that. And so, we have roundabouts that are a bit smaller over on Stadium, kind of near Menards, that area. Those are kind of smaller. This would be 135 feet outside diameter, which is about the same as what we have at JC High School. Smaller, obviously, than the one we have at the five-legged one that we have up by Mission Drive, but it would be big enough to accommodate those vehicles.
So can you give I don't even know if you can do it briefly, but there's a lot of questions on the cost of replacing the viaduct, why we don't just replace it. Basically the way it is, it seems like it would be just a lot easier just doing that, but there's something with Corps of Engineers and the pylons and different things that you got to do, so.
Right. Right, no. So the current bridge is about 1,100-ish feet long, and so the cost of an elevated structure is significantly higher than the cost of a structure that you get to build on the ground. And so as Bartlett and West sort of reviewed, those concepts, we started out with about 11 different concepts. By the time that we made it kind of to the public input, we kind of narrowed that down to 5. And then what we're sort of proceeding with is a combination of what was part of 2 of the different concepts that they had brought to the public. So the idea behind it is ultimately trying to shorten the bridge to the greatest extent possible, and therefore, making reduction in cost. And so ultimately, I think at the time that the plans came out, building the bridge back the way it was about $2 to $3 million higher than what this design by making the bridge shorter. The bridge in this scenario is only about 400 feet long. And so the overall length of the bridge is significantly reduced.
And you're taking the pylons out of Weirs Creek and we're raising it for UP to have better freight access to the spur. And there's better St. Peter's consideration for St. Peter's drop off and pickup.
I don't think everybody knows that or has been in those discussions, so I think that's part of the questions about it. And then the other one is about building the other bridge, the pedestrian bridge, and this is a multimodal thing that money has to be spent on and stuff. So try to put that package together and get more points, I guess, if you want to call it that, to try to get it done. If we can get this done on there, I guess it's still our dime. It's just coming back from the feds.
Right.
You're not going somewhere else.
Yeah. So.
And so, looking at the merit criteria for the grant application, certainly bundling them together allows us to hit more points in those merit criteria for the grant application.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
It's just ironic that we were so concerned about the price of the viaduct and its escalating price that we add another $7.5 million and say, now let's do it. And I mean, that's the way the game is played.
Right, correct.
Okay. All or none. You want to make the motion?
Go ahead if you got it there with you.
I'll make a motion that the commission sign a resolution supporting the city of Jefferson's application for a build grant for the viaduct and the
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay. Approval and signing of contract amendment for the new juvenile center. No, did the, I'm sorry, Naples.
Did we have an amendment on it already?
I don't know. Okay. Okay, then we'll go to approval of Panasonic Toughbook computers for EMS.
Hey, good morning. This is a 2026 capital request for the replacement of 14 Panasonic Toughbook computers. These are what our folks use to write their incident reports. If you'll recall, we replaced roughly about half of those a couple of years ago because they were end of life. And I challenged Brian that just because something's end of life doesn't mean that it's not functional. So we did go ahead and push that out for another 2 years, and we have quickly reached the point where our computers are no longer functional. We're down to 0 reserves, and we're kind of pillaging broken computers to keep these alive. So we've more than gotten our money out of them. And keep in mind that these are the ultra rugged computers. They're designed to sustain a drop from about 6 feet onto a semi-rigid surface. So they are pretty robust, and that's why the price tag is up there. So with that, we're going to buy the 4-year extended product protection plan, and that includes any user damage that'll be replaced for us. So 5-year warranty altogether. So total price, $63,578.76, and this would come from that discretionary capital budget that we have.
What do we usually get out of them, about 5 years? So it's
Yeah, usually about 5 years, and we're
kind of
pushing
a lifetime warranty then?
Yeah, pretty much. And we're pushing over 7 with our current ones now.
How much did you spend on it? Because we got to buy some pretty soon too. How much are you going to spend on yours?
They're about $4,500 a piece altogether. But these are the
You get them and now he wants them.
ultra rugged. They're the step
Did
up.
Cyber Brian get a chance to look at?
That's why I want to make sure Brian approved it. Are you okay, Brian?
Brian pretty much got in an argument with me about buying these because I didn't really want to, and he was pounding on the table that we had to. So yes, they are Brian.
All right. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the Panasonic Toughbook computers purchase for EMS.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, approval of rental agreement with the Miller Center.
Yeah, thank you. This is an agreement with the Miller Center. We'll be hosting a badge pinning and award ceremony for our folks on March the 6th. We do have quite a large group, considering family and friends. So we didn't want to cram everybody into the Apparatus Bay at headquarters. So we reached out to the Miller Center. It's very reasonable for 4 hours. They just asked that we sign an agreement, which is somewhat surprisingly robust, but I think I'd mark it. And this would just come from our...
Do we need anything signed on this?
Nope.
Okay, this is just the approval.
Yep.
Do you want that? Just for your records?
Thank you.
So, yeah, good. Let's make a motion to approve the rental agreement with the Miller Center for the EMS ceremony.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
About 3 signatures, it looks like.
I don't have to initial.
Just at the back.
Approval and signing of change order number 1 for the Wildwood Drive extension.
So this is the final change order for the Wildwood Drive extension with Don Schneider's Excavating. And this change order reflects the actual quantities needed to complete the project. There were several overruns and underruns on this project. The biggest overruns were the Class C excavation and trench rock removal. Rock was actually shallower than we anticipated when we started the project. So, and then we had several underruns to go with it, and then there were 2 contingent items that were added later on to the project. Overall, this change order is an increase in cost of construction by $496,392.26, which I know, Harry, you're a math whiz, so that's about an 8% of the $6 million for the whole project. So several of these items will be reimbursed by the city due to work that we did for them with the project. In particular were the 2 contingent items that they requested. So
This was a co-op item with the city.
Correct.
Under our capital improvement sales tax.
Yes, sir. And it survived its first storm? As far as I know, I haven't heard anything.
Nor have I, and I think the city did it all the way to the roundabout, didn't it?
Yeah, from my understanding, the city is plowing from Edgewood up through the roundabout and then back out. Our guys, when they plow Rock Ridge, actually go through the roundabout to come down to hit Frog Hollow and then back out. So the roundabout's actually getting hit twice in a snowstorm.
Okay, so it ought to be cleared.
I hope so.
I'll make a motion to sign change order number 1 on the Wildwood Drive Extension Project number 2023-701-1.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. New business, accounts payable review,
There's no type.
signing a surplus title.
I actually have 3 here. They're all for EMS. There's 2 ambulances and then 1 Tahoe. The ambulances are on Gov Deals now. They did so. Oh, on surplus, and then the Tahoe, I believe, is going to be on there as well.
Are any of these ambulances white?
No.
They're all blue.
Yes.
Okay. And are they just sitting out there in the facility now? Is that where they are?
Yeah, we're working to get them sold on surplus. I think we had maybe a tactical error on this last go round, so we're working to get them sold. We believe that they were worth much more than what was offered. So, but yes, they are sitting out at Southridge, and they're actually indoors right now, so they're being taken care of.
Good. Make a motion to sign the surplus titles for the 2 ambulances and the Tahoe.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Discussion and approval of adding a second display in the commission chambers.
That's probably my
Yes.
request. After we have reconfigured the room a bit to address the maximum capacity and be a little more formal on getting folks to the podium, especially the visitors. I noticed in watching one of the meetings that the folks who sit in the back turn around and kind of gawk at the screen, and it's not a very flattering view of those spectators, and it's unflattering to be shown staring at it up like that. So I've asked Brian, he stepped out, if we could do an additional display up here in the corner so that folks who sit out there don't have to spin around. And actually that folks that sit up here could probably see the budget numbers when they come up and other things that we can't really see from here. I think Brian is looking for the wiring, the display, the mounting, as well as another camera. Have we talked about that yet? The other camera?
Yeah,
That's last week.
Okay, all of that together is about a $4,000 package, I believe. The camera up here would shoot out and get a better view of the audience, especially the persons at the podium, because right now the view that you look at on YouTube is the back of the head of the presenter, and that's not fair to them. So I'm asking that we go ahead and invest approximately $4,000 to pursue these dress-ups of this commission chamber.
I'm fine with it.
I am too.
Okay, so we'll pursue this and get.
It makes it nicer too when you go back and review meetings too, when you're
Yes, and
watching
you
stuff,
know, another
listening.
thing, I meant to mention this earlier. Maybe my voice is too low at times or too soft, and it's not coming through real good on the YouTubes. Sam, maybe the same with you. Yours is usually pretty good.
That's what gets me in trouble.
Yes. But we should probably try harder to speak up more or fine tune the microphones. These microphones here are supposed to find the voice and go to it. They're that sophisticated, but maybe we're not being loud enough to get the microphone to follow us. Anyway, especially when we hit the big crowd and the voices were coming from different spots at different times, it really got humble jumbled. So we'll work on being better at that.
Should've got it a week earlier, could have watched the Super Bowl on it. So
Why?
you just need,
Why?
yeah.
I'm all right.
It's been 30-some years since Cowboys have been in it. I still watch it. Do we need just a go?
Maybe just a nod that we're going in the right direction here for these expenditures of around $4,000.
Yeah, I thought that was very reasonable. Less than I probably thought it was going to be.
Well, then I could pull the what's the term? What do we just do? How about a change order number 1 on this for next week? We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Good.
okay, discussion of marijuana funds.
You were next up on the list. That's why you were looking at your. Thought maybe you had something to add to the.
No, I'm good with all that.
Yeah, they got smashed at UPS. Sorry.
So late last week, we received a letter from the Missouri Department of Revenue requesting a refund for the marijuana sales tax, and the request is for $579,716.62. I prepared a review of the receipts, expenditures, and transfers regarding the the marijuana sales tax. We received $645,399.79. We allocated interest from county interest of $12,779.72. We had expenditures totaling $73,669.31. $24,230 was for the courthouse security. $20,596.71 was for radios for the Pringer Center, and $28,842.60 for AED devices throughout the county. So my recommendation at this point in time is we go ahead and transfer the full amount of $645,399.79 back to the the marijuana sales tax fund. To accomplish this, we transferred $584,510.20 at the end of in December of 2025 over to the health insurance fund to help shore that up. So my recommendation is to move that amount back, and then we would need to move $60,889.59 from the general fund And then that would leave a balance after this refund request of the, excuse me, that would leave a balance of $65,683.17. So we had a conference call with Department of Revenue representative, and I asked how the $579,000 figure was determined. They shared that it was 2 of the 3 dispensaries had asked for 100% refund of this sales tax money. So I would anticipate that the 3rd dispensary at some time down the road would be filing a request for a refund. So that's why I'm recommending we move the full amount over. So there's a couple of questions at this point in time from my point of view. Does the commission want to approve transferring enough money for this refund request or the full amount? And again, my recommendation would be transfer the full amount. And then, does the commission want to refund the $579,716.62 at this point in time to Department of Revenue? One of the other requests I asked of Department of Revenue is, with this, did they require the dispensaries to provide a plan of how they would refund this money, sales tax money, back to their individual customer? Department of Revenue said no, they did not require a plan. From Department of Revenue's point of view, there are statutes and regulations, rules that if the retailer asks or if the actual customer asks for refunds, they transfer it back. Their preference is for the money to be transferred back to the retailer. So Department of Revenue is going to take this $579,000 and refund it back to the 2 dispensaries in town in the city limits of Jefferson City, and it's their responsibility to get it back to the customer. One of the questions I had is Revenue concerned if the money does not get back to the customer? And their response was no. They're following their guidelines of transferring the money back since the refund was requested, and they're providing it back to the dispensary. So we have no guarantee that if we refund the money back to Department of Revenue and then Revenue transfers it to the dispensaries, that the actual customer that paid the sales tax is going to get their money. I'm not recommending to you all to fight this or oppose this, because I think it would require major litigation. There would be other counties and other individuals would love for us to do that, but I don't think it's worth our while to fight this. If we were to oppose this, I think they would just withhold the money from future sales tax on our other areas going forward until it was resolved. So I guess one of the questions before you now is, are you all interested in refunding the full amount that's been requested?
I think so. It just kind of angers me. We're going to give a windfall to these dispensaries, and I don't know if they're going to really say, hey, you've been buying a lot of weed from me. You know, you keep record of what here's money back.
So now if one of the customers from those 2 dispensaries went to Department of Revenue and requested a refund, Revenue would then send them back to the dispensaries to get their refund from them. So I think if I hear from all three of you today, then our next step next week, we'll put in budget moves for these transfers. But I guess the real pending question is, if we move forward, do you want to go ahead and transfer the full amount so that we've got $65,000 in the marijuana sales tax pending the third dispensary's request for a 100% refund?
I would like to see a statement from Revenue that they are complying with the constitutional provision of recreational marijuana and also with the statute, the statute that applies. My reading, and I'm going from some experience, and it may have changed since I had that experience, is that a retailer doesn't get that windfall of excess sales tax collected. It belongs to the customer. The retailer rebitted it to Revenue, but it's really money that the customer paid to the retailer that came to Revenue, that came to us. I'm not saying no, never will we pay this, but I'm saying I want some documentation that says they're following the Constitution and the statute. My reading of the constitutional change that we enacted, or I didn't have anything, I didn't vote for it, sorry, but it is in the Constitution that we have recreational marijuana, adult recreational marijuana. And there's no doubt that those retailers have got some tremendously meticulous records on this, because they had to prove that they had to have proof that that buyer was 21 years old and their name is and their low address. So they've got the records to get that money back to the customer. My suspicion is they're going to call the customer and say, hey, you want some free dope? You've got a credit with us. Come on in and get it. And that's how they, quote, refund it to the customer.
So you're saying I didn't have to keep my receipts?
I'm saying I don't think so. Unless you were using somebody else's name when you bought it and had an ID.
I mean, that's what I was curious about, is how they were going to refund it to the customers, but if they have the database and they can go back.
I think they do. I've never bought anything else, but I've accompanied somebody who has, and once they get you on, once you buy the first time, I think you're on file with them.
So
that's what my hope was, that Revenue asked, what was your plan to get it back? And I was told that they did not ask for a plan.
That's probably what's going to happen at the end of the day, but I'm just to feel a little uncomfortable. Because here it is, knock yourself out, because my reading of the statute says that has to get back to the customer. And it can't be a windfall for Revenue. It is a windfall for us, maybe, because, well, Revenue led us down this road when they first said you can't stack. Oh, you can stack. And then Western District, I'm sorry, probably Eastern District and Western District said, no, you can't stack. So at the end of the day, it's probably going to go back to the retailer and maybe go back to the customer.
I can work with Jill and we can draft.
Right, and I'm with you on, we thought we had some breathing room over on health insurance fund, and we jacked up the reserve, but that reserve is gone. And it just makes that more difficult for us.
What's the deadline? What do they ask? When do they want their
Yeah,
money?
so that was one of the questions. They need the refund 30 days from the date of the letter. And it was dated February 4th. So the plan would be is we would come back with budget moves next week, follow the steps of opening it up for public comment, and then at the early part of March, we would approve the final approval of the budget moves, and we would issue a check in the early few days of March, and we could hand deliver it to revenue to meet the 30-day deadline.
If we dilly-dally too long, what's going to happen is they're going to short a payment to EMS, short a payment to the sheriff, and short a payment to Public Works.
Yeah.
The three buckets that collect sales tax would be, it could get paid that way, and then you got lots of journal entries too.
Well, their letter doesn't actually say the 30 days. So if you're reaching out to them for the statute information, we maybe want something too that says the 30 days. He just knows that from the
Yeah,
the
we
phone
asked
conversation,
and
but the
everything.
letter doesn't specifically say
I'd
the
like it
30
right.
days.
And I'm fine with all that, but I think probably go ahead and transfer the money, have it sitting in the pot that we needed to,
That way we're ready.
Yeah.
no pun intended, but
Okay.
have it in the right pot. Anyway,
Yeah.
I couldn't have done that on purpose. And have it in the right area, so
We can get
tell them we'll
everything
send it
set
to them
up.
on February 30th.
Oh, there's no February
There's no, I got it.
clear what
See,
we're,
my unintended
We're gonna-
puns are
we're going
from
to
here.
put in motion pull all the levers that make happen what you're recommending.
Yes.
So transfer the full amount.
We just don't hit the send button.
Okay, and then, so next week you will see proposed budget moves and everything for this to get that process in the works, and I'll,
Including the 69,
the 65,
65
yeah.
and change.
Yeah.
Did the Greene County auditors share with you what their number is? I'm curious.
My understanding, Greene County was not collecting at a county basis, so they didn't have anything to refund. The
They were involved in
They were involved. The Boone County was close to 850,000 that they had to. My understanding, the first dispensary that kind of got this all started rolling is that they indicated that they paid this additional sales tax on behalf of their customers. So they went back and requested the refund. And in that situation, my understanding is they had signs posted that since they paid it on behalf of the customer, that they could ask for the refund and then they would not have to refund it back to their customer. But that is, my understanding is not the case here, that the two dispensaries in town did not pay that on the customer behalf. So
They collected it and remitted it.
So then, in my understanding, the customer that actually paid would have a refund due to them.
Yeah, okay. So it's on the agenda for next week?
We will get it added on the agenda next week for the budget moves and everything. Thank you.
We'll keep talking because
When we put it on the agenda next week, let's call it the adult recreational marijuana fund.
Okay.
Because someone else could look at this saying, what? Right?
I still refer to it as medical marijuana all the time, and
Well, it's not.
and it's not.
Because
Yeah.
medical marijuana is not subject to a sales
Yeah.
tax. Period. It's medicine.
I shouldn't pay tax on my bourbon. Oh. We'll keep talking because our closed session is not here yet.
Okay.
Is Eric here?
Yeah, he came in a little bit
Oh,
already.
okay, okay,
So I'll walk in there. So.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Then, do we have anything else before we go into closed session? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session. There he is.
Pursuant to Section 610.021 of the revised statutes of Missouri, the commission will go into closed session to discuss the following: real estate under Section 610.021 subsection 2.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pam?
Yes.
Harry?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.